Imagine a time when the world was wild, raw, and untamed. Millions of years ago, long before cities, technology, or modern comforts, humans lived in a constant battle with nature. Every day was a test of survival. The Earth was a dangerous place filled with towering predators, unpredictable weather, and endless challenges. Prehistoric humans had no written language, no machines, and no science to guide them. What they had was instinct, determination, and the will to survive. This is the story of how our earliest ancestors struggled, fought, and thrived in a world that was both merciless and magnificent. The earliest humans lived close to nature. They did not build permanent homes like we do today. Instead, they wandered in search of food, water, and safety. Life was simple but incredibly hard. Each sunrise meant another chance to hunt, to gather fruits, or to find shelter. Each sunset brought with it the fear of predators lurking in the dark. Lions, saber-toothed cats, giant snakes, and packs of hyenas ruled the night. The sound of snapping twigs or rustling leaves could mean the difference between life and death. Yet despite these dangers, prehistoric humans found ways to endure. Hunting was one of the greatest challenges of early humans. They had no guns, no arrows at first, not even proper tools. In the beginning, they relied on sharp stones, sticks, and their strength. Hunting large animals required courage, teamwork, and strategy. Imagine a group of hunters slowly approaching a massive woolly mammoth. The air is cold, their breath visible in the freezing winds. They circle carefully, waiting for the right moment. One wrong move, and the giant beast could crush them instantly. But when successful, the hunt meant survival for the whole tribe. The meat would feed dozens of people, the skin would provide warmth, and the bones could be shaped into tools. For early humans, nothing was wasted. Every part of an animal was precious. But hunting was not always successful. Sometimes prey escaped. Sometimes hunters returned injured, and sometimes nature itself turned against them. During long winters, food was scarce. Families huddled in caves, surviving on whatever they could find, roots, nuts, and dried meat from earlier hunts. Hunger was a constant companion. It pushed humans to adapt, to invent, to think beyond the ordinary. Slowly, they learned how to make sharper weapons, how to trap animals, and how to use fire. Fire changed everything. It was more than just warmth in the cold night. Fire kept away predators, cooked food to make it safer and tastier, and brought people together. Around the fire, stories were shared, lessons were passed down, and bonds were formed. It became the heart of human survival. Firelight turned caves into homes, and fear into courage. It gave humans power over the dark and hope for tomorrow. But survival was not only about hunting and fire. Shelter was just as important. Prehistoric humans found caves to hide from storms, rain, and wild animals. But as they grew smarter, they built temporary huts from branches, leaves, and animal hides. These shelters were fragile but vital. They were places of safety, where children could grow and the sick could heal. In these shelters, humans felt a sense of belonging. They were no longer just wanderers, but a people learning to shape their world. Danger, however, was never far away. Snakes, like the deadly cobra, lurked in the grass. Giant crocodiles waited silently in rivers. Packs of wolves tested the strength of every group. Nature's fury was constant. Earthquakes shook the ground. Floods destroyed settlements. Storms swept away food supplies. Yet each disaster taught humans resilience. They learned to read the signs of weather, to climb to higher grounds, to store food, and to move quickly when needed. With each challenge, humans became stronger. And then there was the struggle with other humans. Tribes often competed for the same hunting grounds, the same water sources, the same caves. Conflict was unavoidable. Battles were fought not with armies, but with stones, clubs, and sheer determination. Some tribes perished, others survived. and some even formed alliances. Slowly, humans realized the strength of unity. Working together meant greater chances of survival. Cooperation turned strangers into families, families into clans, and clans into communities. Danger, however, was never far away. Snakes, like the deadly cobra, lurked in the grass. Giant crocodiles waited silently in rivers. Packs of wolves tested the strength of every group. Nature's fury was constant. Earthquakes shook the ground. Floods destroyed settlements. Storms swept away food supplies. Yet each disaster taught humans resilience. But perhaps the greatest weapon prehistoric humans had was their mind. Unlike animals, humans could imagine, plan, and create. They painted on cave walls, telling stories of hunts and dreams. They developed tools from stone, bone, and wood. They learned to fish, to track animals, and to store food for the future. Each invention was a step forward in the struggle for life. Each idea was a light in the darkness of uncertainty. The struggle for survival also gave birth to culture. Early humans danced around fires, sang songs, and created rituals. These were more than just entertainment. They gave meaning to life, comfort in sorrow, and strength in fear. Birth, death, success, and loss were all marked with traditions. This sense of belonging kept tribes together. Even in the hardest times, humans found reasons to hope, to dream, and to believe. As time passed, humans discovered the power of farming. No longer did they have to endlessly chase animals or wander in search of food. By planting seeds and taming animals, they built the foundation of civilization, but this was still far into the future. For millions of years, survival was the only goal. Each day was uncertain, each night was dangerous, and yet our ancestors endured. Their story is one of courage and determination. They were not the strongest creatures on Earth. They did not have claws like lions or speed like cheetahs. What they had was intelligence, adaptability, and unity. These qualities turned prey into hunters, wanderers into settlers, and fragile beings into the rulers of the earth. Today we live in comfort, with food in abundance, homes of stone, and technology beyond imagination. But none of this would have been possible without the struggles of prehistoric humans. They paved the way for us. Their sacrifices, fears, and triumphs are written not in books, but in the very survival of our species. So the next time you sit by a warm fire, eat a meal, or sleep safely in your home, remember the journey of our ancestors. Millions of years ago, they fought with tooth and claw, with stone and fire, just to see another day, and because they endured, we are here today. This is not just history. It is the story of us all, the story of how humans struggled, adapted, and survived against all odds.